Judkins remains unsigned as of this moment as the Cleveland Browns potentially await the conclusion of the NFL investigation. Now, while charges were not brought against Judkins and the case was pretty much, not pursued by the state attorney, there's still some questions about why the Browns aren't signing him and that the NFL is still looking into some stuff. We're going to break it all down right now. I'm going to tell you when, how, this all gets resolved and what to expect with maybe Dylan Sampson moving forward. Judkins is not necessarily on a path to sign with the Browns anytime soon. I'll break it all down. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So, according to this report here, the NFL still plans to run its own investigation into Judkins and the domestic battery charges that led to his arrest in July. The police report that followed Judkins' arrest said that bruising was clearly evident on the woman he allegedly assaulted, which creates a problematic situation for the Browns to sign him before the NFL concludes their investigation, meaning that the Browns sound like two things are happening here. One, this is being overreported, and I know a lot of people are going to want that to be the case that own Judkins. They want this thing to be done, and this is unfair to him. I understand where everybody's probably coming from that owns Judkins, but the way that this is being looked at is either one, the team and Judkins just can't agree to terms yet, which I don't know is the case. Partly could be the case, but also the Browns are treading lightly because the NFL is still yet to conclude their investigation. And remember what I said earlier, especially when this thing resolved, that the NFL has sometimes more evidence than the police. And sometimes the NFL will make a determination based on the optics of something. Even if someone's not guilty of something, like even in the case of all the Deshaun Watson cases that kept getting thrown out, remember that the NFL still deemed that he had put the NFL in bad light. The NFL still deemed this is within the realm of a suspension because of the decisions you made leading into it. Now, just because the case didn't proceed, and the same thing happened in a couple of Deshaun Watson situations where everybody just assumed that Watson was 100%, free of any wrongdoing. That was not the case. The affidavits and all of the witnesses and all the people that spoke out about Deshaun Watson, the affidavits and all the reports that went to the police were graphic. And Deshaun Watson admitted to a lot of things consensually, but those things were not inside good light for the NFL. So the NFL said, regardless of these being consensual, regardless of whatever, this is not good, and they suspended Watson for the 10 plus games. I'm not saying we're headed there, but we have to keep in mind that just because the case didn't move forward, that was because a decision was made that the likelihood of prosecution was not, I got something on my shirt there. The likelihood of prosecution was not likely. So they decided not to move forward. Doesn't mean there wasn't any evidence, and the NFL might be looking at that. So what could this mean? It probably means that he's not playing. Right now, he's not playing week 1. That could get resolved really quickly. This thing could get wrapped up. He could sign his deal. Maybe this is being over-reported on the fact that the NFL is still looking into a whole lot. Maybe they're just concluding, dotting some I's, crossing some T's, and concluding their investigation. And the Browns are just kind of waiting. Maybe the Browns have been instructed by Goodell to hold off. There's a lot of things, a lot of different pieces to this we wouldn't really have a lot of knowledge on. We're not privy to that information. My guess is that the NFL is still looking into some damning evidence potentially, and he still probably put the NFL in bad light. That's probably what the NFL is looking at least. Whether they conclude that or not is a whole other story. But just because the NFL or the police didn't move forward doesn't mean there wasn't something that the NFL has their hands on that they don't like. We'll see how this all unfolds, but you're going to have a lot of people that want this to go a certain way and a lot of people that don't necessarily want it to go another way because they don't want anything to happen to Judkins if he's innocent or if this thing got blown out of proportion, which it certainly did. But there are people that have agendas. They have Dylan Sampson. They've got Judkins. They're going to have different angles to this. But the bottom line is the Browns and Judkins have not yet signed their deal. It sounds like they've talked about it, so that's what makes me think maybe some of this could be over-reporting, but at the same time, they might be trying to get the parameters of a deal in place, and they're still not going to execute upon that deal until the NFL has given them a total sign-off on, hey, if you sign him, you won't be paying him to go on the commissioner exempt list or something like that, or as they investigate. Like if the Browns signed him today and the Browns are not done with the investigation, it's possible they could put him on the commissioner exempt list paid while they investigate. That's a possibility. So it sounds like Goodell's going to be like, don't put me in that position. Let us finish the conclusion of this investigation, and then you can go ahead and sign your guy. That's probably what's being, behind closed doors, strong arm, commissioner saying, wait. You can talk with them, get the parameters in place, something along those lines, but wait until we conclude our investigation. Now, what does that investigation prove? We don't know. We're all kind of waiting for that. I would say right now, you assume he doesn't play week 1. Right now, I don't think you assume he doesn't play at all in the season or anything like that. But we might be potentially looking at a suspension because it doesn't matter that the case didn't move forward. It doesn't mean there isn't evidence that the NFL doesn't like, that they've got their hands on. It doesn't mean that, according to this report here, bruising was clearly evident on the woman he allegedly assaulted. We don't know if that alone is going to cause the NFL to say, look, you put yourself in this position, and maybe he didn't. We don't know. We don't know what evidence they truly are holding on to. I would say this. I would say could be a late round steal. Joe says maybe, or maybe Dylan Sampson's the late round steal. Maybe Dylan Sampson's already got a kung fu grip on the job. Maybe Dylan Sampson, who's been out there learning and absorbing, is going to be the guy that benefits from this. And maybe Judkins, despite the draft capital, still can't reacquire the job because Dylan Sampson won't let go of it. A lot depends on how and if Sampson can walk into week 1, have a great game, and then from there build upon that, because no one's taking Dylan Sampson out of the lineup if he's out there popping off and looks like the team's future starter. If Sampson goes out there and putters in week 1, or let's say Jerome Ford gets healthy enough to play and Sampson barely plays week 1, Sampson plays a little bit in week 2, who knows what happens with Judkins coming back with the draft capital that he has over the other rookie. You might just see Judkins step right into the 1 and 2 down work. So kind of an unknown territory. My advice to you is not to sit here and go, I've got 5 different shares of Judkins here, so I'm going to go draft him as the late round steal in these other leagues to make myself feel better about the shares I got over here. Let me support my other shares by going all in over here. My advice would be to diversify your portfolio. My advice would be to grab Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. My advice would be to grab other RBs like Bashal Tutin. Bashal Tutin and Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt have a real likely chance of being this year's Bucky Irving. I have a video on that. You can go watch. It's on my YouTube channel. So make sure you go check that out. That video looks a little something like this right here. Next, Bucky Irving, Bashal Tutin, Tank Bigsby, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt are 3 likely candidates to be the next Tank Bigsby. So, or the next, maybe it is Tank Bigsby, the next Bucky Irving. So go watch that video and check that out. We're going to open the phone lines here. Another little piece of news that just hit. We're not going to see Brian Robinson Jr. in the upcoming preseason outing for the Washington Commanders, which fuels even more fire that he will not be a starter for the team next year, this coming season. He will not be probably with the team anytime soon, if ever again. He might even be released. So he's either a cut or trade candidate. Most players that are on the block to either be traded or cut usually don't get traded. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes a player is going to get cut and then they don't get cut because they end up figuring out a last minute trade. And why would somebody trade for a player that's going to get cut? So there's no competition, so that nobody's going to go and say, oh, well, I'll outbid you. We'll look more attractive. Maybe they're not as an attractive landing spot as 3 or 4 other teams that might potentially be in the mix. So there's a chance that a trade goes down, but probably as much of a chance, if not more, that he ends up getting cut or released. So phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
318, what is your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, Smitty, it's Tyler from Louisiana.
What's up, Tyler? What can I do for you?
Hey, man, so I got a draft question for you. I'm looking at getting getting one of these running backs in the 4th round. Typically, sometimes Hampton's there, sometimes Kenneth Walker's there, sometimes Hendy is there. Can you rank those 3 guys for me? Just which one you would take, 1, 2, and 3, if like.
Hendy. Okay, so Hendy, you said Hendy, Hampton, Walker.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna say Hendy, Hampton, Walker in that order. And Walker's not in the same tier. As much as we love Walker, he's not in the same tier. It's not close. And it's not because he can't be, but he's just not. It's just not one of those things, bro, where you can rank him, right there with those guys when he's got Charbonnet just nipping at his heels. It's just not a. It's not.
Yeah.
We're talking about like a couple.
I've seen a lot of people say about trading them, potentially to the Commanders. I heard you throw that out there. I'm a big Commanders fan.
Well, I mean, there's actually no news on it. It's just I'm just mentioning that there are 3 teams that potentially could want a running back, but Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt appears to be in line. I'm just telling people to be careful, not to expect the world right now. We're going to draft and hope. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is a league winner. He's a potentially Bucky Irving, but it's still like the Commanders looking at another RB wouldn't shock me, but I don't think they're trading for Walker. You never know. I don't think they're trading for ETN. You never know. I don't think they're trading for, another running back that could potentially be available. I think they love, and Adam Peters loves draft capital. He doesn't like getting rid of it. They use draft capital to go get Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. So I believe that they're moving forward with him. This is a team that's young, and I think they're trying to build around what they have. They did acquire Deebo Samuel, but they're not interested in going and getting other players at this moment, I don't think. Anything can change, but Walker's not in that realm, bro. Not until he gets moved, and if he gets moved, he's going to the Bears or the Houston Texans maybe, and I don't think that happens till midseason or a little bit later.
Got it. Hey, Smitty, I appreciate you.
All right, later, bro. Kevin, you're live.
Smitty, what's going on, brother, man?
What's up?
Man, I just found out I got the 101 in my home league draft. And run by, a quick strategy for you. But the main question is, who is your favorite round 6 receiver?
Okay, I'll look into that. Right now, we're in the middle of this Judkins stuff, so I'm not going to do a full breakdown yet. So I'll give you my sixth round receiver, and then call back in just a little bit. We'll go over that team situation. I want to do this right now and tackle this topic, all right? Round 6, I'd probably say round 6 wide receiver. Phone line's open. If you got a Judkins question or at least something related to Judkins or a situation or around it, call into the phone line, and then if you got something else, I'll help you with that after, but let's try and stay on this topic for at this moment.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
As far as the 6th round wide receiver, I love Igbuka. I love Deebo. I love a lot of players that fit that bill, but it's hard to say. ADPs are moving all over the place right now. Let me go into the 6th round real quickly for you, pal, and I'll find something. I would say probably 6th round wide receiver. We're looking at in the territory of Travis Hunter is my favorite, and he goes in the 6th or 7th round. Igbuka, Deebo, and that's really concludes the list. Rome a little bit. I like Rome and Dunze a little bit. I don't like Diggs in round 6. I don't like Matthew Golden in round 6. I don't like Juwan Jennings, Jacoby Myers. Call back in just a minute. We'll go over that again. But let's tackle this situation. I would say Hunter, Igbuka, Deebo, or Hunter, Deebo, Igbuka in that order. Those are the guys you want to grab in that 6th round territory. Absolutely love the value of those guys. All right. As far as Judkins, guys, I wouldn't advise you go drafting him in a ton of leagues at his new cost of entry. to my knowledge, he's very much climbing into a territory of, let me go into my most recent draft and see where he went. Actually, last night, when we did a draft last night, it looks like Judkins went, let's see here. We did 2 drafts last night, and in said drafts, let's go into we did the puppy 3, right? So let me go into a puppy 3. Puppy 3, most recent draft, Quinshon Judkins went at pick number, it went around 10. Round 10 and round 9. Bashal Tootin, Jaden Blue, Tank Bigsby, Ray Davis, Zach Charbonnet. Those are just running backs. Those are all running backs that go right at that pick. You can't take Judkins right now ahead of those guys. You can't take Judkins over Zach Charbonnet. You can't take Judkins over a wide receiver, even a wide receiver like the wide receivers get thin there. Marvin Mims. You got to draft Marvin Mims over Judkins right now. Olave, Cooper Kupp, Godwin, all questionable players to pick there anyway. So I'm not necessarily saying take those guys over, but I don't really like a lot of those players anyway. Kyler Murray goes in that territory. Justin Fields goes in that territory. Baker Mayfield goes in that territory. As I said, Tank Bigsby, Luther Burden maybe, Mark Andrews, Dak Prescott, Colston Loveland, Bryce Young, Isaac Guerrero, even though we've been a little down on the fact that he's been injured. Cam Ward, those are all better players than Quinshon Judkins, which means that Judkins needs to go in the 11 to 12, probably 12 to 13 round range. I don't think you want to take Judkins at 9 or 10 because all those players I read, all of them are better than Judkins at 9 or 10. So double-digit rounds for sure. 11, 12, 13 more than 9, 10, 11. Otherwise, you're just potentially throwing away some value. Go ahead, caller 508. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Travis again.
Oh, what's up, Travis? I don't know why it's doing that. What's up, Travis?
Not much. Things can change quick, so obviously it could be like, tomorrow. You could sign or whatever.
For sure.
You wonder if, because it's a domestic violence accusation, the NFL, the past several years have seemed to be like really trying to crack down on that stuff. So they're just doing extra due diligence to make sure, that it's not just, there wasn't enough evidence or someone backed down. What if he really did do it? I'm not saying he did. There was obviously some sketchy things about the phone call and stuff, but I kind of wonder if it's just that the NFL just making sure they're not missing something.
Well, as this report reads right here again, suggesting that the police report following Judkins' arrest said that there was bruising clearly evident on the woman allegedly assaulted, which again, is it self-inflicted? I'm not saying it is. Is it they're just looking at all that, and they won't have a lot of ability to prove that because they're not gonna. But they do interview alleged victims. They do interview witnesses. The NFL takes this thing to another level. It's wild how the NFL. It's almost like they're the Vatican. If anybody doesn't know, the Vatican has its own police and laws, and it just takes it upon itself to govern. And so the NFL is kind of the same way. And just because this case didn't move forward in the courts doesn't mean there wasn't evidence. We just all, as a general population, when something doesn't move forward, we just think, oh, it's completely thought of as garbage, and the case could not. There was nothing to it. He's innocent. He's 100%. Just because someone doesn't move forward doesn't mean they're 100% innocent. The NFL might say, look, they didn't move forward because of the delays and the handling of this and that, and there's no way this thing was going to go the distance, so we don't want to waste the time, money, and get an L. That's the way that, a state attorney might look at something and say, we don't want to take the L on this. We don't think this is going to survive. We've done too many cases. The probability of this thing getting thrown out on a technicality, or the fact that, there's just not any tangible, there's doubt. It's different when the NFL's looking at it going, what are you doing here? And different when the court of law says without a reasonable doubt. So reasonable doubt is certainly going to be at play here. So convicting in a court of law on any level probably didn't seem like a likely situation because of her questionable handling of the timing and everything. And so the NFL is going to look at it and say, we don't have to look at it on those strict terms. We're looking at on it. Did you do something at all? And did you put yourself in the NFL in bad light? Because we're going to make an example of this. Hard to say. I know everybody wants him to be 100% innocent, but we don't know the details. He could have maybe done a little bit of what is being said and not done majority of what's being said. It's hard to really know. All we know is like in the Deshaun Watson situation, even though the DA did not decide to move forward with the Deshaun Watson situation, it still was in bad light, and the NFL still had tangible evidence that he was up to no good. You know, Watson, if you read the affidavits, it's disgusting what Watson did. But what Watson did, he said he did, he admitted it all, but consensually. Or admitted a lot of it consensually. Like, hey, this is what I did. I go in with my little tiny towel. And I'm not going to get in, I don't want to get in details. But like that there was a lot of details that were awful that the NFL is like, this is not good. Doesn't matter if you're saying you did it this way or whatever, what you're doing, man, you got to stop. And so, the NFL came down hard on Watson. So this is a situation where we don't know. I'm not suggesting that Judkins is in the wrong at all. I don't have the evidence in front of me, but it sounds like there's definitely stuff that the NFL feels like needs to be examined, like you said, and maybe they conclude that it's still he said, she said, and we're gonna, there's no way we can sit here and believe one case over the other without any sort of reason to believe that it went this way. If I had to guess, I think people are still going to overdraft him. I think a lot of people want him to be innocent so badly, and I get it. And I'm not saying he isn't. He could be, but they're forcing him in no matter what, they have shares. People in the chat even. I'm not reading everyone's comment yet, but there are a lot of people that have him in 100,000 leagues, and so of course their answer is going to be, "This is crap." Like, that's of course what you're gonna, but you don't know. No one knows what the league's looking at. The league's holding something. It might be nothing. It might be all stuff that they're just gonna say, yeah, dotting our I's, crossing our T's. Hey, Browns, go ahead and sign him. But it does very much sound like there's something that they're delaying on, and the Browns are waiting because the Browns don't want to sign him and and I'm sure the league is more so forcing them not to sign him until it's all done, because the last thing that they want to do is have some sort of he signs, then they got to go through these hoops to do this, and then they got to do that, and now they got to make an example of it. They want to make sure they're clearing it so that they can definitively say, you can sign him. If anybody asks us as a league, we're going to tell them we didn't deem that this thing had any credibility, or they probably don't even want to say it like that. There's not enough evidence for us to conclude that we can hold him accountable for anything. And even the state attorney did not want to move forward. So we've covered our bases. The NFL wants to be able to say we covered our bases and we're good.
Yeah, and I get the people that have stock in him want him to do good. They're invested in him. What I don't get is if people that have stock in him are now doubling down and overdrafting him still in other leagues.
Let it go.
Overdrafting him this fall. You have stock. You have plenty of stock in him. So, and I don't know, maybe they're not. Maybe they're just talking about the stock they have now. And
some of it. Some of it is defense.
Don't double down.
Yeah, double down, Donnie. Some of it is a defense mechanism just to explain why they can sleep well with their current share of volume. But a lot of people do have a natural instinct to be like, hey, I'm gonna buy more Quinshon Judkins to help make my decision feel more confident, to help support it. You just I just read off a plethora of names that are more valuable than Judkins right now, and everybody should be scooping up those names. And again, a lot of those names include in the 9-10 round range: Tank Bigsby, Bashal Tootin. If anybody takes Quinshon Judkins over Bashal Tootin, I don't know how to help you. I don't know how to help you. It looks like Justin Jefferson hamstring is to return to practice this week. We'll find out more on that. Hopefully that goes well. Let me answer these super chats real quick, Travis. We got a $20 hauler from our boy, Racing Boy.
Super chat alert.
Racing Boy, I appreciate you, my boy. Traded Barkley, Evans, and Pacheco for Genty, BTJ, and the guy just threw in DJ Moore. Is this deserving of a let him cook? Barkley, Evans, and Pacheco. Now, you didn't say if it was dynasty or redraft, so I'll kind of attack both. But I would say if this is dynasty, you made out like a bandit. I don't think it's dynasty because I don't think this would get pushed through there. Even if your league didn't have vetoes, they'd still veto this. In a redraft setting, I mean, it could go both ways. Barkley, if he played all year, was running back one, didn't get hurt. The 430 carries didn't take him down. And Evans has another 1,000-yard, 10 TD season. You know, this could definitely go in the direction of the other. I mean, Pacheco. But would I rather a BTJ and Genty? I would. I think the gap between Evans and BTJ is significant enough to say that no matter what happens with Barkley, healthy or not, I like Genty as much anyway. Right there. Even if you promised me Barkley wouldn't miss a game, I still think Genty could play with Barkley or even maybe be better. So Genty, Barkley, wash in redraft, even if it is, give me BTJ over Evans. Enough to say I don't care about Pacheco, even though I like him. Definitely love the trade. I would say in Dynasty, you're cooking big. In redraft, it's still cooking.
Let him cook.
I mean, that's good. Racing Boy, appreciate you dropping that wattage, my boy. This here, 10-man Superflex Dynasty trade, get Harvey for Hall. I'd rather have Harvey in redraft, and I'd definitely rather have Harvey in Dynasty, just so people know.
Let him cook.
This one here from Jesus, appreciate you. Trade Blue for JCM. Yes.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Love that. Not that I don't love Blue. Still love Blue, but JCM's the guy right now. Auction draft this Saturday. Recommendations on how to spend around Jamar Chase. I'm not saying I can't build a good team with Jamar Chase or JJ or Bijan or Barkley, but I just tend to go after those players, and then when they go for an astronomical amount of money, I set back and I want Hampton, I want Harvey, I want Hendy, I want Kyron, I want those players, and then I want a BTJ versus a JJ because it's significantly lower price. Now, what you do though to make sure you're not screwing up is you get involved with those bids, and sometimes the lowest running back out of the top 5 highest paid is like let's say it this way. Sometimes somebody will call out, let's say Barkley, and Barkley goes for $58, and you're like, okay, actually is about a pretty decent price. Like I might have wanted to do that. Like, and it's going once, going twice, sold, and you're like, damn it, you want to be involved because the next 4 running backs might go for 65, 67, 68. That is one way that auctions sometimes go. The first player, no one knows what to do. It's too low. And the next 4 players that rank below that player go higher than that player. And the person that got Barkley made out like a bandit. So the same thing with Jamar Chase. Maybe Jamar Chase goes for, if you call him out first or somebody calls him out first, probably will be him or Bijan. Then let's say Chase goes for like 49. You want to be involved in that. Get him at 49. But as it creeps up and goes for 60, let it go. And then I would go in a different direction. Now, if you want him, I mean, and he goes expecting to spend 78. So try and get him in the 60s. Try and get him before then. Try and get him at 69, whatever. And then if it goes into the 70s and you must have him, I don't know that I would do it, bro. I think you're trying to force it. $78 at a 200. You're not leaving yourself a lot of wiggle room to build. You give me a, let's call it Travis Hunter for $33 or $27 over Jamar Chase. You just can't spend that kind of money and expect to build a good team. $78 out of 200, it's just too much. I don't like it. You're going to have such a thin team. Go with a bunch of Hunters and Hamptons and Harveys, and you'll have a much better team and a strong starting lineup. If you're forcing me to answer this question, I would say you better damn sure make sure you get all those rookies to go around Chase because they'll be cheaper. Debo on top of that. Ibuka, Debo, Hunter as your wide receiver room. Or a couple of those guys. And then your running backs probably can only consist of Breece Hall, who's doubted, Kyron Williams, who's probably doubted enough to make that work. And then you're going to have to go like cheap quarterback shopping. I don't like it. I wouldn't do it. I don't think it's a good plan of attack. The only time I'm spending that kind of money is if I'm going two-headed monster, Gibbs and Bijan, and then try and wrap that with as much as you can. That I don't mind. I would try that. But past that, I think I'm more about the sleeper values that we talk about in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round and consuming as many of those players as you can. 311 of you on YouTube, and then the rest of you on X. Make sure you jump over on YouTube. We will not be live streaming on YouTube or X as much this year. I'm just doing this when there's breaking news once in a while, just so you guys can remember what's going on. That we're over on the YouTube doing it live. 10-man PPR: Daniels, Achane, Hampton, Harvey, Tank, Bigsby, Caleb Johnson, Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, Hunter, Egbuka, Higgins, Laporta. Thoughts. Also got offered Henry and Pollard for Hampton. Redraft. I look. I could go either way. I'm not saying I draft Hampton ahead of Henry. My approach with Henry is I just draft another, like I draft a BTJ or I draft a London or a Bucky instead of Henry. So it's not that I don't like Henry. I just draft those guys ahead of him, bypass RB there instead of going Henry, and then I take Hampton later. You can't do this trade straight up. Henry's worth more. His ADP's worth more. He goes borderline like 1-2, and Hampton's a 3rd rounder who we love. But it requires a Travis Hunter who you have already, but it requires that kind of player. So I don't think you can do this straight up. I mean, just think about where you drafted him. And in a 10-man, you're so deep you can afford to put a lot of onus. And you got Hampton here for Hampton, so you'd be getting Henry. Okay. This is that weird thing where when you flip it though, it's hard to do it. I probably would maybe in this league. You have Achane, you've got Harvey, you've got Tank Bigsby. It's a 10-man. If you don't have any Derrick Henry shares, I don't mind this trade, I guess, in a redraft. But the problem is you have Hampton. And then now you can't ask for more. You're trying to get Henry. I don't know, man. Chat, what do you think? Would you rather just keep Hampton? Or would you take the chance on Henry in this situation, given Henry's got higher ADP? The guy drafted Henry before you drafted Hampton. And I'm assuming this is redrafted. If this is Dynasty, you better not consider this. But chat, let me know. I think we all want Hampton because we're big Hampton believers. He's an HHHN associate player, but I just think that the Henry side does have more value, but I am curious to know what you guys think. Travis, would you keep Hampton or would you go with Henry in this league? Let's say you didn't have any Henry shares.
I'm all right with Henry for redraft. I think he has one more good year. Like one more, top 10-ish year.
Yeah.
So
I think if you have no Henry shares, this isn't a bad place to take a gamble on him. And if you don't have any Hampton shares, then that does complicate it and make me not want to do it, I guess. But I don't know. It's a close one, bro. And as for your team's great. Achane, Hampton, Harvey. You got such a good squad. You can afford to do something like this. Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, Hunter, Egbuka, you're fine in case Neighbors does sit a game or two. Laporta. Not much I would even move. I'd probably hang tight with that trade.
The chat is lately on the Henry side, of course, though.
Yeah. I guess I would I would do that trade. Other than that trade, I'd hang tight and not do much. Your team's really, really good. So probably traded Breece Hall and got Henry and Diggs, or Harvey and Diggs. Breece Hall, Harvey and Diggs. I like Harvey a lot. I take the Harvey side. I know it's not what everybody wants to hear, but because they know I love Hall, and you might own Hall and be like, Smitty, I drafted Hall because you said so. I like Hall. I think Hall's great, but I do like Harvey better. 12-man league, which draft position do you prefer? Right now, I'm at 4. I think I like 4 because you got 4 or 5. I think because you can get Genty or Lamb or even Gibbs, and then you can get a better chance of Bucky. I like that pick a lot. London and Bucky seem very attainable. Now, the further you go down, like 5 or 6, the more you're likely you're going to get Bucky or like Lamb, or Bucky or London with your number 5 or number 6. But I love Genty a lot, so give me 4, 5, or 6 right now. I'm not liking what 1's looking like at the 2-3 turn right now. It just, all of our players crept up. Chase Brown, Kyron's even climbing in non-best ball past that range. So the 1 pick is tough at the 2-3 turn now. It was not that way all offseason. In early offseason, I love the 1 pick because you're getting such value at the 2-3 turn. 12-man league, I'm going 4, 5, or 6 right now. And you get that nice spacing between your picks, so it makes it very nice. Trade Wilson and Judkins for Nico and Mason. I would take Nico and Mason. Dynasty. Yeah, I still would. Thank you for the super chat. Dynasty, best ball, trade a 26, 27 second to get Sampson. Absolutely. A couple second rounders, I'm fine with that. I don't care if you don't do it, but I'm fine with the trade if you need to do it, you want to do it. 10-man PPR, opinion on new team, Jaden Daniels, Garrett Wilson, Travis Hunter, Bijan, Bucky, Andrews, Henderson, bench, Debo, Harvey. Love it. Your depth is great. There's nothing you need to move. You might be able to consolidate later, but do you even need to? Maybe not, but maybe Garrett Wilson and one of the bench players later. I'm not saying I want to trade Harvey or Debo or Ibuka though. But if you could get like a big dog top 3 wide receiver, and you might not be able to do that now, but if Harvey gains enough value for you to pull that trade off, you might not even want to trade Harvey at all. So probably stand pat. Love the team. At least an 8 out of 10, if not higher than that. That's a great squad. Judy, J-Mo, Devontae Smith, or Judy. Give me J-Mo, then Devontae Smith and Judy as a tie right after that. But give me J-Mo. If Ingram is gone, who 12 redraft? Gone, who is 12 I don't know. If Ingram gone, who and
tight ends?
If Ingram is gone in 12 redraft, I mean, it's such a vague question. I would say Kyle Pitts if you need another tight end. Kyle Pitts or Ingram are like your easy to get double-digit round tight ends that have top 5 tight end upside.
How do you feel about Njoku? That Flacco's been named starter to start the season.
Yeah, maybe, but you cuff him to Fannin, and it's okay. Yeah, sure.
Right. Okay.
Tight end QQ. What's that mean? Well, you guys, I'm now speak some of this brand new language you're typing in the chat here. Tight end QQ. What's that mean? Quinton who? What are we doing? Out of these 3, Joe, I'll rank them. I don't know what you're saying.
Quick question.
Quick question. Okay, I don't speak. What is this? Generation. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. QQ.
Just say rank these tight ends.
Yeah, just say rank. R-A-N-K. You really that short on letters? QQ comma. There's 3 of them. R-A-N-K. It's 4. Let's just get rid of the comma and go R-A-N-K, not QQ. Out of these 3, Pitts, Kincaid, and Njoku. I'm gonna go Pitts and then Njoku, then Kincaid in that order. I wish I could say Kincaid, but we're just not there. Not right now. Maybe that returns. We'll see. Maybe we get back to a place where we love Kincaid again. But this team was phenomenal. Kevin, this is a fantastic squad. You should be ashamed of yourself. Your league mates are probably going to be upset at you all year long. Hey, Smitty just drafted a 12-man league, 0.5. Chase, Nix, Bucky, Hendy, Bride, Hunter, Debo, Bigsby, Mason, Benson, Ibuka, Adunze thoughts. I could add JCM, but who do I drop? Very good team. QQ. What are we doing, bro? I probably who do I drop? None of these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you got no other bench. This is not your whole bench. There's no way this is your whole team. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 guys? Really? You had a 12-round draft? I mean, you can't drop Benson. You can't drop Igbuka. You can't really even drop a Dunze. For in this type of league where it's this small, you got to have some. Drop your kicker. Drop your kicker at D. If you got no kicker at D, you tell me you got no backup quarterback or anything, you're not giving me the full roster. So you got to. I'm not dropping one of those guys. So my answer right now is I don't know until you give me a little bit more information. Let me just make sure I answered all these super chats because I feel like I might have deleted one of them. Samson, I got
one guy. Our RD it starts with. He was saying you missed it. I don't know if you missed it or you didn't hear it.
That might be the one Yeah, RD, you might have been the one I deleted, so I'm looking for it. I kind of remembered that I did something. I clicked on something. Harvey Hall. Let's see here. 10-man HN Hampton Harvey. Yeah. Henry Pollard. Let's see. You're expecting to spend 78. I think I got everything but this one. Trade 10-man Superflex Dynasty trade. Get Harvey to Hall. Yeah, I think this is it. Okay. Sorry about closing this one out. 12-man PPR. Stroud, London, Rice, Hunter, Adunze, Bucky, Hampton, Hendy, Bigsby, JCM, Tyler Warren. Should I trade QQ? Should I trade Rice plus for Burrow? Would I'd be thin at wide receiver? Yeah, I mean, I hate Stroud as a QB. I not that he can't do something. I get that he was so good at one point. We all loved him. I admit, I felt like, honestly, when I called Bryce Young the better quarterback walking out of college, I was kind of dumbfounded by why Stroud played so well and why he looked so good and why I didn't feel I could see that coming. And I don't know how he did what he did his rookie year and then did what he did his next year. I don't know how. And I'm not saying he can't rebound and be pretty good, but I don't think anybody feels like Stroud is going to come close to hit the levels we thought he once was going to reach. And such a weird case, man. Such a crazy rookie year. I mean, what he did was amazing. He played fantastic. And the fact that the Texans were a playoff team and it's kind of wild. I just don't trust him. I don't trust him. I feel like I'd rather have Bryce Young, like originally planned. It just took a while. I would probably say, Rice for Burrow is not bad at all. I don't know that I'm going to give up a lot more, but they're both going in the same territory, so this is not a bad trade fair market value-wise. And if I could give up Stroud maybe to do it, I would, and then you go to the waiver wire and pick up somebody, I suppose. But I'm definitely Tyler Warren. Okay, should I trade Rice plus for Burrow? It depends what the plus is, but yes, I totally would do it. And it leaves you, I guess, thinner wide receiver, thinner, but it's still great. I mean, you got London, Hunter, and Adunze. There's still 3 really good receivers, and I'm sure there's somebody on waivers you could pick up. And bro, I like Marvin Mims. I don't know if he's out there. There's definitely a way you could attack this and still, I think, fill that spot. My guess is your waiver wire has a bunch of players I like, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Hey, Smitty, quick question: Mason, Blue, or Little Bill? Thank you, QQ. I'm going to say Mason. No, I don't know. The upsides with Bill. It doesn't mean there's not risk right now. Like, he's not been. We're making a lot of assumptions about Little Bill, and I think they're good assumptions. And we made these assumptions back when we put him on the freaking midseason monster list as one of the first guys on the midseason monster list. Period. So Little Bill is fantastic player that I think can be potentially a league winner next Bucky Irving. I did a video on it. So I would say I would rank Little Bill number 1. But that doesn't mean that the market value is there for this. The market value might be for Mason But at the end of the day, in a vacuum, do you care about market value? Are you going to really draft or acquire somebody at this level where it's close enough to say, well, I better do it for the market value? I would probably say I love Mason. I do love Mason, but he doesn't catch football, so he's got some limitations to his value. Give me Bill. Give me Bill, then Mason, then Blue. And that isn't to say it can't change. They're all, look, isn't it kind of ironic? You got Bill on here, you got Mason, and who was the other one? Blue. So you got all of them on here. You know, they're all midseason monsters. So you're pulling at my heartstrings. You're asking me to choose children. If you don't know who Little Bill is right now, what are you doing? Where have you been? I mean, are you watching the show? I'm literally like 3-4 shows in a row now, and you're asking me who Bill is?
Get familiar.
Learn about it. Last super chat, then I'll open the phone lines again. Penn team PPR got offered the number 1 pick in exchange for number 9 and my round 17 keeper, Ricky Pearsall. Would you take that? Are you talking about Genty? What are we doing here? Number 9 pick? So is this a rookie pick? Like, tell me what we're doing here, DTX. You're not really being super clear here. I mean, the number 1, we talk about the 1, like, this is a keeper league, and this is the 1 overall in the first round of the vet. This is what I'm thinking. It's the vet draft.
Yeah.
And so you
we have to know who's available.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, I mean, I like Pretty Ricky, I do, but you get rid of Pretty Ricky, a nice 17 round keeper, no doubt, okay? But you're getting that 1 overall pick. That's a huge difference, especially if their keepers pulled off
in the 9 overall pick. If it's a keeper, it's probably not going to be like the 1 pick and the 9 pick could be a huge difference.
Completely different. Go get, without even knowing any further evidence, I'm going to say get that number 1 overall pick for sure. I respectfully disagree with the Caleb takes by Smitty and the gang. Hold on. Let me read this. What I love is how long he's been waiting to say this. He's been quiet. BA Sykes has been quiet all. And now Caleb goes out and has one good drive and 1 bad drive. 1 good drive against the 2nd and 3rd team. And all of a sudden, BA's acts like he's been here the whole time doing this. And not to mention, I still don't agree with it. Like, bro, Caleb's got a long way to go. Let me tell you. I respectfully disagree with the Caleb takes by Smitty and the gang. But I acknowledge that they could be right, and I could be dead wrong. At least he says that in there. That's good. But I love Smitty and the gang. But I love how people think. There's a lot of Caleb fans that think that something got solved or resolved over the weekend. You can certainly call in and talk about how Caleb had a nice drive where his wide receiver made a huge play and should have got tackled. DeMar Hamlin's the worst tackler in the league. Shouldn't even be in the league. He's in the league. He shouldn't be in the league. And this is a mix of the 2nd and 3rd team. And then Caleb goes out there and goes. His last 3 plays is 0 for 3, looked bad, and then they, hold him so in case the momentum was to get, rocked. There's like, okay, let's end it on a good note. He had 6 completions, 6 or 7, and then I think he missed his last 3, and then they decided not to put him back in. But you can disagree all you want. It doesn't bother me. You apologize to yourself later. You can apologize to yourself later. Taking what Travis?
Sykes' message he just typed said, I'm holding Caleb and I like him in week 10 versus the Giants.
Okay. If he's in there, you might want to grab Bajan. You might want to grab Bajan and cuff Caleb and Bajan together. Because guess who looked just as good, if not better, than Caleb? Bajan.
Yeah.
Bajan looked better than Caleb. Oh, but Smitty, that was against the 4s. Caleb looked good against the 2s and 3s. Bajan looked good against the 3s and 4s. Look, there was a time where Bajan was kind of hyped. I like Bajan. I think Bajan's better than Caleb. At some point, Caleb gets banged up, and they gotta make sure they do right by him for the future. And then Bajan's gonna be given the reins just to see what he is. I think Bajan fits more in what he wants to do. If Bajan is the quarterback that fits Ben Johnson's scheme, not Caleb. Oh man. You know, it's so wild. So many people thought they had something on me coming into the live stream the other night. And it's like, Smitty, what do you think about Caleb now? And I'm like, the exact same, bro. The exact same. Nothing's changed, bro. Are you kidding me? Taking Genty over BTJ, Amon-Ra, and Nico? Absolutely. Genty's the number 5 or 6 overall pick. As we've said all offseason. And then a lot of you guys scared like a little scared Scotty. And you ran for your mama. And you wanted to find your mama crawling and just wither away because you thought Genty was a bust after 3 carries. And you're still talking about the Raiders last year. Hendy Rookie of the Year certainly could be the case, my boy. Certainly could be the case.
Let him cook.
10-man PPR, Knicks, Brown. Chase Brown, I assume. Put a C in there. You could be A.J. Brown. It's in your running back, so I assume it's Chase Brown. Knicks, Chase Brown, Genty, London, Rice, Debo, Kittle, Hendy, benches, Sharps, JCM, Ibuka, Harris, and Sampson. Any moves? Love the team, bro. Those are all players that I love. So the answer is no. The answer is you sit on that 8.0 of a team, and you maybe hope that there's some trade value, you know, that opens up like Jason, Sampson, Ibuka. What?
In redraft, are you okay with dropping Trey Harris if it's, you know, for a JCM?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, someone who's going to get work right away.
Yeah, watch him monitor Harris, but he's got a crowded room and he's dropping footballs. And I'm excited about him still. I'm not writing him off, but he's certainly not in the same place. And this is adjust and adapt. Look, we loved Harris. Harris is a potential league-winning wide receiver, and now he's not. It doesn't mean he can't get back there, but we have to adjust and adapt. Harris is not the same player he was a month ago. QQ, we high on Breece Hall with the Fields ad? Let me read that with the megaphone. I got to read this with the QQ, we high on Breece Hall with the Fields ad? I feel like he's like chewing some gum while he's saying it. We high on Fields with the Breeze ad? Yes, QQ. I think Fields checked down to his running back more than any quarterback in the league last year. I bet you didn't know that one because people say he doesn't use his running back. Did I say quarterback? He checks down to his running back than any other quarterback in the league. I think I said it right. So, Breece Hall is going to get the football. And keep in mind, when Fields went into the game back when he played for the Chicago Bears and we had that hype preseason for him, like, this is the year Fields is going to be top 5. And we got all excited the year before last year. And what did he do in the preseason? Blue 32, hatchback left, drops back, tosses the ball to Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert on the screen. Just a tiny little 1 yard or 0 yard throw. Herbert took a 50-plus yard touchdown to the house on the first play. And we said, Fields is him. And then it's like, okay, wait a minute. It's Chicago, guys. Let's see it again. Blue 32, hatchback left again on 2. Hut, hike. DJ Moore, I believe it was, turns around. Same play. Screen pass. DJ catches it. 40 or 50-plus yards down the field. Fields was 2 for 2. 2 50-yard touchdown passes in Chicago. He's the guy. Yep. That's why I say be a little cautious of Caleb right now, my people. Like, don't. This is preseason. Fields and Hall should do a hell of a job together. And Hall's ADP is really what bakes in there's no risk involved. He has top 5 running back potential, but you're not paying that. You're paying 4th and 5th round value. And the fact that they keep talking about running back by committees, and now there's some rumors that he could get traded, which I don't think are coming from the team necessarily, but speculation pieces. And it could be that they end up being true or logical takes maybe. But right now, I don't see that. Right now, they want to see what Brees can do. And if Brees delivers, they're not trading him. So it's all in Brees' hands. 0.5 per rush attempt, 1 point per PPR, Hendy or Hall. It's not even close, Beeman. It's not even close. Hendy for a reason.
Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby. Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby.
Easiest question I've been asked all day, and I love Hall. But Hendy's got that top 5 running back appeal even as a rookie. 10-man PPR, Knicks, Brown, Genty, London, Rice, Debo, Kittle, Hendy, Bench, Sharps. I already talked about this one. Great team. Just simmer on it. Let it simmer on the stove. And then maybe you get some sort of JCM Sharps, Igbuka, Samson type of trade, value. And then you upgrade later. But right now, I don't want you to upgrade those players because I love them. And those guys need to gain value. So you just be like kind of taking a bath on a trade right now versus the future value I think they have. Is Woody Marks droppable in a dynasty if B-Rob gets traded there? You know who I think might be a candidate to acquire B-Rob, and I said this on the Patreon, is I wonder if Green Bay is going to be interested because their running back room is banged up right now, and I think they believe that they're contenders. I think they really believe that. So they believe that. I think that B-Rob is going to be very cheap. I think that he's going to get cut. And because he's going to get cut, that means the Commanders will take anything. And so it's very, very affordable. This is not something where you even have to wait for him to get released because that way you don't have to pay anything. People are like, I don't want to give up draft capital. But right now, because he's going to be released, he'll be so cheap that a team that does need an RB might make a trade. So I think it's possible he could go to Green Bay. It's possible he could go over to Houston for sure. And then the other place would be the Bears. They may not act upon that desire now to bring an RB in, but they might preemptively. I can see Ben Johnson saying, let's just do it and have it, have him sitting there. But I don't like him. Honestly, B-Rob feels cooked to me, so it doesn't even matter. So Woody Marks.
I was going to say, I could even see him get picked up by a contending type team or some other team where he just goes into the backfield.
The Niners' entire running back room is injured. Could they trade the Niners have so many extra picks from all of their coaching, minority coaching hires where they get these extra picks all the time. They've got they're always loaded with these picks. They could get rid of them. One of the picks to grab Brian Robinson Jr. But here's the thing: is I don't think Brian Robinson Jr. is a threat in Dynasty. Maybe in redraft it could complicate and muddy the waters, but in Dynasty, I still wouldn't drop Woody Marks. Now, I'd drop Woody Marks for JCM, but I'm not, thank you, Rudy QQ. Thank you, B-Men, for the Hendy question. And then, Jonathan, appreciate your question. I think I've got 3 more Super Chats, and then I'll open that phone line, like I said. DK and Aaron Rodgers, good. DK and Aaron Rodgers, good. Jonu, synergy. I think DK, I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I would never sign or bring in Aaron Rodgers as my fantasy football quarterback. Even backup, I don't want it because I don't know if he's going to be there by the time I need him to step in. Week 8, 10. Most of my quarterbacks have a bye week 12 or a bye week 10. Or Penix is bye week 5. So Knicks is 12. Mahomes is 10. Burrow is 10. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers necessarily guarantees you he'll be there. I don't hate Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback. I just don't feel comfortable with it. Now, DK Metcalf, I think he could get 1,008 or 9 or 10. It's possible. I like DK. I think DK goes underrated sometimes in my own mind. And I'm like, what am I doing? And then I see another player run his ADP, and I'm like, that's what I'm doing. Like, so I go back and forth on it. Rate my team at a 12-man third pick. CD, Bucky, Cooks. Who's Cooks, bro? Brandon Cooks? Or are we talking about James Cook? Henderson, Harvey.
Debo Samuels.
Debo Samuels. You got 2 Debo Samuels? Henderson, Harvey, Hunter, Rice, Debo, Fields, Ertz, Arroyo, Cam Ward, Broncos, $200 league. CD, Bucky. I like it other than James Cook. I would not want him on my roster this year. Not at the cost that you just paid. I like the rest of it, though. If I could trade Cook and let's say, I guess Cook and Fields to just upgrade my quarterback, I'd consider that. You've got Hendy, Harvey, or I guess your depth would be no, you're Bucky. Yeah, you're fine. Hendy, Harvey, Bucky, you're fine. Get rid of Cook and either get a receiver. Yeah, maybe you can get a. You got Hunter already. Worthy to back up Rice. Maybe
some people are still low on Wilson.
MHJ, yeah, MHJ, Garrett Wilson are your targets for Cook. And if you got to give up something else, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be giving up Debo or anything, but maybe there's another something on the bench you can give up. But I'd say MHJ, Garrett Wilson, JSN, and
that normal group, 34 guys.
Yeah. Read my other super chat, please.
Then he said, never mind, because you just read it.
Oh.
You're good.
So demanding of you, Romeo. Thank you, Romeo. Appreciate you. New team after trade. QBs, JD5 Goff. Gibbs, Kyron Genty. JCM Mason. Woo! Rice, BTJ, Igbuka, Tet, McMillan, DJ Moore, tight ends, Ingram, Pitts. Very good team. What can you do with that? I don't even know that you're trading anything, bro. You're just sitting back enjoying the fruits of your labor. The only thing you're doing is waiting on maybe trading high on Tet or DJ Moore with maybe a JCM or a Mason if you wanted to upgrade Tet. That's it. Not saying you need to. I'm just saying that's where I would look. That's where I see some improvement points, is just to say, like, could I take Tet if he has a great week 1? People are already really high on him, and I like him. You could sit on it. But if I take Tet or DJ Moore off of a big game, so you're kind of waiting until after week 1, or you just, test the waters. Maybe Tet's got enough value now to do it. Maybe Mason's got enough value. Maybe somebody's hurt at running back. Maybe JCM hype gets somebody excited, and it should. And I don't trade JCM lightly. But if I could upgrade Ted into a BTJ London Garrett Wilson, I'd probably do it because you can afford to do it because JCM's not going to sniff your lineup anyway right now. So look into it, but you might wait on that too. But that's a great squad, bro. Very, very solid team. And you got a lot of maneuverability with that. All right, phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Did you see the update on HN?
No. What's it say?
I sent it to you on Instagram if you want to pull it up. Mike McDaniel said HN dealing with calf injury, won't practice this week. That is preventative in nature, especially because of how explosive of an athlete HN is. So,
yeah.
Good news overall.
Yeah, calves are always always a concern because calf injuries lead to Achilles tears. But yeah, if they've rested, then they're fine. Like they're smart. Like think about it. If he goes out there with the calf injury and tears his Achilles, what's everyone going to say? Why did they just sit him? So they're sitting him. And any sort of calf like pain with Halliburton, all these NBA players tearing their Achilles, like that with calf strains. Calf strains are basically what happens with a calf injury, and it's not always the case. A calf injury does not lead to an Achilles injury, but an Achilles tear usually has some sort of warning sign in the calf region, and your calf's screaming off like a alarm bell going, "Rose, stop!" And then your Achilles blows. So, that's good. We'll talk about that later. May even go live sooner than later on that, but yeah, people are going to be freaking out. But
then just Ed McMillan shut down for a couple of days with a minor hamstring. He might not play Thursday.
Yeah.
That just popped up too.
Yeah, Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel said Dolphins running back Etienne dealing with a calf injury, likely will not practice this week. He's fine. Keep in mind, guys, it's literally August 18. Opening day for the Dolphins is what day? It's the 8th, 9th, what is it, 7th?
7th is the Sunday, I think, right? Yeah, 7th is the Sunday.
Yeah, the 7th. So you got the 7th is fun. It's Bucky, we know, my guy, we know. They said T-Mac hurts, Smitty, look it up. Jeez. Relax, my guy. Relax. Get some food. Get some food in you. You're hangry. We got a lot of time.
Yeah, so
I mean, he's
almost
not
3 weeks.
He's not even sitting out, the majority of the offseason or the rest of the. He's going to sit out for a week or two, but he'll be back in plenty of time. Calf injury is at his age probably nothing as long as he rests it. But man, the last thing you want to go out there and blow an Achilles. That would be insane, and definitely rather them rest him. What'd you say, Travis?
Just real quick, just because I see this question, I've seen this question multiple times from multiple people. I know you addressed it, I think, last night, but I keep seeing people ask, should I drop Trey Benson for JCM? So I don't know if you want to just...
No, you shouldn't leave either one on waivers. That's your problem, not mine. You can't cut either. You can't leave either one on waivers. You're gonna have to figure something out. You have to make a trade. You're gonna have to drop your kicker in defense, whatever. I don't care if you're best kicker in the league. You just can't cut Trey Benson. JCM Benson, either one could be a top 12 running back. It just comes down to opportunity and something you can't necessarily predict. The opportunity part, but JCM is probably getting into the driver's seat right now. Benson might be in that before week 4, and you've cut a guy that's a top 12 running back because you didn't want to let go of something else. So the answer is inexcusable. 12 team non PPR 1 QB tight end premium IDP: Mahomes, Caleb, Chase Brown, Genty, Hendy, Judkins, Scat, Devontae, Trey Benson, Ramondre, wide receiver, Lamb, London, Rome, Rice, Judy, T-Mac, Xavier Legette, Noel, Smitty approved or take a lap. Who do I drop for JCM? Noel's an easy drop, bro. Easy drop. I'm not dropping anybody else. Noel, I dropped Noel, and your team is definitely Smitty approved. Genty, Hendy, Chase Brown, Mahomes. I mean, fantastic squad, bro. London, Lamb, Rome, Rice. Yeah, I mean, you can't even do anything. Let that team marinate. Would I maybe look to upgrade like Rome and T-Mac together? Sure, like poke around for that. Trey Benson, T-Mac, and Rome. Something like that. Judkins for some sort of ambulance chase.
He's got Hunter in his DB spot too. He said he ran out of character.
Jeez, Hunter. IDP? That's filthy, bro. How'd you still pull that off? Yeah, that's crazy. All right, let me go over to these phone calls real quick, then I'm going to go grab some food, and then we'll come back and probably do an H-hand live stream, I imagine. If I don't do that first, I don't know. Scared Scott, you're live. What are you scared about?
What's the fab on cross-free merit?
What about it?
Percent fab.
I don't know. How would I know that?
What do you think?
Nobody ever has this answer. Can I just tell you that? Nobody.
What's your best guess that he's worth?
You got to give me information. Without your information, I can't. Literally, if someone gives you, let me make a very important point. If somebody ever gives you a number, you need to never listen to that person ever again. They're giving you stupid advice. So what I need to ask you is, what do people usually bid on players? Like, is this a aggressive fab? Is this like, how could I know? If I say 10%, you lose it because somebody gets aggressive.
I don't play with people I know.
Okay, but you don't have any history. There's no transaction log. There's nothing you can give me. There's nothing I can go on. You're giving me no evidence of any sort of trending. So like,
there are new leagues every year.
Okay, but has anybody been picked? Scott, has anybody been picked up yet this year?
Not really. Just little bitty.
Okay, well, give me something. Give me something.
In one league, Jerome Ford is out there. And when they named him the starter, a guy paid $37 of his $500.
Okay, but is that the same league? Is that the same league? If not,
no.
Okay, so go to your league and read off any transaction, Scott. I'm asking you for evidence. Why does nobody listen to me on this? I'm asking you for information, and you're like, I don't know. You said some people have been picked up, so there's got to be somebody I can have some sort of barometer.
Plus, if it's the same people in the league.
Pulling teeth with them. It's like pulling teeth with them. Scott, out of $500, I'm bidding no less than $100. And if I'm scared at all that day, if you're feeling a little extra scared, I would easily drop $200. But I'm the kind of person, if I knew I needed to, I'd drop 500 out of 500. So
right now on this, you think he's that good? Did I lose you? I don't hear anything.
I'm here, Scott.
Oh, there you are.
I'm just thinking how to trying to be a calmer person. Trying to work on the blood pressure. I didn't create this video that's up on my YouTube channel for nothing. So yeah, I do think he's that good. Is there a chance that there's another player that's that good that hits your waiver wire? Yes. So that's why I'm trying to take advantage of the market, but without any information. And you're telling me that some players have been picked up, but you're refusing to give me the information. So what else am I supposed to do, Scott?
The best comp I have for it is Jerome Ford.
That's in another league, Scott. It's in another league. Scott, I'm going to ask you one more time. Has there been a player that's been dropped in the current league yet?
I am in 16 redraft leagues. 12 of them have them open. I can't go through all 12 of them.
Well, then don't call me and ask me for accurate information.
I'm asking you, do you think 15%, 20%?
He's not listening.
What percentage of fab do you think he's worth?
You're not listening, Scott. You're not listening. I don't know. I can aggressively tell you I would do $200, and you said you're trying to argue with me.
No, I wasn't trying to argue with you.
Well,
I just asked you if you thought he was that good.
Well, would I say it if I didn't think it, Scott? What I'm trying to tell you is, if you want the most accurate information, you have to give me the information that will help me be most accurate. You said there have been some ad drops. You refused to go look at the waiver wire, and then you want me to still be a hocus pocus magician and figure out what the percentage is.
Exactly.
You said Jerome Ford. That's not in the same. Scott, we're running in circles here. I got a QQ. Do you want to look up the information or not? If not, then my answer is $200.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Scott. Jeez. I mean, what are we doing here? Is this a Mickey Mouse show or not? It seems like. I mean, I know my bedside manner wasn't the best there, but if you go to the doctor and you say, "Hey, man, I got this rash. What kind of cream am I putting on it?" And he goes, "Can I see the rash?" And you go, "No." Like, okay. Can you describe it? Well, my friend has a rash. He's in another state. It's not the same rash. He has a rash, and here's a photo of it. That's Jerome Ford, if you don't know the reference. And then the doctor says, "Oh yeah, that deserves cream 2575B2." And then he goes, did your rash rub up his rash, maybe? And he's like, no, he's in another state. It's a completely different state, completely different rash. Okay, well, I don't really want to give you the B2 77 rash cream. Can you show me your rash? I've got 16 rashes on my body. You think I have time to show you which rash? That's what we're talking. Scott, do you understand what I'm saying? I'm literally trying to help you, and I'm asking you to just give me the 2 or 3 examples of players that got picked up in the dollar amounts, and you say you're too busy with your 16 leagues to look it up, but yet you want me to give you an accurate percentage of fab droppage. And I'm just going to tell you guys right now, anybody that gives you a number without knowing that information is giving you trash advice. I can't stand these waiver shows that go, put 16% fab on them, put 22% fab on them, put 10% fab on them. I play in a league that's so aggressive that I would be getting the worst advice in the world from anybody that gave me some sort of arbitrary percentage number. I play in another league where I bring my aggressive take, and like Scott, I don't know what the numbers are going to be, and I drop 101 out of $200, and nobody bids anything, and I just threw 101 down the toilet. You can't give somebody a percentage without looking at their rash. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, let me go over to the phone line, and then I gotta probably go live on this H-hand thing. So let me quickly end all these calls. We'll jump back live again real quickly. Then I'll go eat. Well, who needs to eat right now? Not me, I guess. Nick, you're live. Go ahead. Hey, Nick hung up. Nick, too bad, Nick. You're going to the voicemail.
I think he was. If it's the Nick from the chat, it was something about HN. So he was.
Well, he lost his chance. He can call him during the HN show. JJ, you're live. And then we're out of here.
Hey there. Appreciate you taking the call, Smitty. I've got a lot of players in the news recently. I just want to see what you think of my roster, any moves I can make.
As quickly as...
I've got, Lamar Jackson, Puka Nacua, Garrett Wilson, Christian McCaffrey, Bucky Irving, David Njoku, Breece Hall, Brian Robinson Jr., Jerry Jeudy, Egbuka, Rashad White, Judkins, Sampson, and JCM.
Not a huge fan of Christian McCaffrey myself. Who are your wide receivers?
I got Garrett Wilson, Puka Nacua, Jerry Jeudy, and Egbuka.
I like your team a lot. I'm always interested in moving Christian McCaffrey and Puka.
Okay.
So, you just got to poke around. Would I go get a Hendy and Hunter for CMC? Yes, I would. Would I go get a Hendy and Garrett Wilson type for CMC? Yes, I would. Would I go get a JSN and Hendy, or would I go get a Harvey and a Hunter or Harvey? And let's see, Harvey and London, Harvey and Garrett Wilson, Harvey and something along those lines to get rid of Puka. I personally would, but that's me. There's nothing wrong with keeping Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua is fine. It's redraft, right?
Yeah, it's redraft.
I think he gets overdrafted by quite a bit just because Adams is there. Stafford's obviously banged up, but Stafford did practice today. Went through about 26 plays. We'll talk about that as well. We'll talk about Stafford, Achane, and Ted McMillan on a live stream in just 1 second. I'm not going to go eat. I'm just going to start it over. So I think you got to come to me with some options. So hey, the team that has Hendy has this. The team that has Travis Hunter has this. And call back in the show when we come back here in a second, and we'll hopefully be able to attack that for you. But give me a couple scenarios, all right?
Okay.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Travis, real quickly before I hang up, anything else real quickly, and then I'll come right back on the H-hand video.
Just you would drop Ramondre for Roski Merritt, right?
If I like winning, yes. Sure.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Sure.
I could give you a percentage on that, 100%.
Yeah.
Come on, Smitty. I mean, I got 16 leagues. You think I have time to get you the information that can best help you make the decision when I'm asking for help? I have 16 leagues. I got bigger fish to fry. In fact, I gotta go. Sorry to keep you, Scott. Sorry to keep you. All right, I'll see you all on the live stream. Come back in 5 minutes. I'll be live on Achan, Stafford, Ted McMillan, See you back here in a second. Later, Travis. I'll be right back.
Smitty.
Mark Cleveland, I gave up Caleb Johnson, Downs, and a second for RJ. Sweet job. Mark Cleveland, crushing it.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Jeez, Mark. Caleb Johnson, Downs, and a second for RJ Harvey. Lambasting his league for a living is what Mark does. Hey, Mark. What do you do for a living? I lambaste my league for a living. All right, be back in 5 minutes. Keep refreshing the YouTube main page, my homepage later.